This is a Let's Promote Hope friend, and we're all part of Let's Promote Hope. We're proud to be given the opportunity to partner with Topeka VA to work towards making improvements for the veterans' healthcare as a team. We're extremely pleased to see all the patients that are here today and their families as well. That's very important to us. You guys are the focus. The war on suicide can only be won by taking a holistic approach to veteran healthcare. It's the goal of Let's Promote Hope that we need systems in place to catch the symptoms, not just to respond after the suicide. We have a number of goals and are working toward implementing many of them. You'll hear more about that in a little bit. I should probably start by introducing the members of Let's Promote Hope, which you're all members of Let's Promote Hope. Everyone here is a member. But the directors here, we have Patrick Lucky Lynch. Oh, sorry. I lost you for a second in the glare. Lynn Spirit Hansen, Samantha Greg Dinner, and I'm Doug Mulqueen, and I'm basically your MC for today. Lucky you. Just really touched to see everybody here. It's really important. I'll probably give a shout out to Ripcord because of that. Ripcord mentioned it one day early on last year. How suicide was a problem and we should be doing more. We wouldn't have gotten started like this. It's little ideas from every one of us that are going to make a difference here. Now you can hear me. Let me first introduce you to our first guest, Megan Jackson. I met Megan several years ago. I was actually in Iraq with her husband, Greg. Fantastic guy. I cannot tell you enough good things about Greg. Just like I can't tell you enough good things about Pat. Just like I can't tell you enough good things about every soldier, every airman, every Marine, even every sailor that falls to suicide. Okay, Megan.
We are here today focusing on veteran suicide awareness, but the reality is that suicide rates across America are like an epidemic. This is not just a veteran issue, but an American issue. My husband Greg and I were together for nearly 7 years, and during that time we lived, we loved, and we laughed together. Life had its challenges, but we worked on them together. We made every major decision together. That is, until his final decision without my input. Greg fought this battle for several years, and it was hope that kept him going on for a long time. After his Iraq deployment with the National Guard, Greg began his law enforcement career after a pretty intense incident. He stepped away from that career, and the battle got even worse for my warrior. As a family, we rallied to support him, and he even sought guidance from professionals. He had support and many resources, and it was too late because the one thing he no longer had was hope. With his final decision, he thought he was doing us a favor. What he did not know and could not know at that moment was the immeasurable shockwave of pain that was left behind. Now my son and I move forward in this new life that we did not ask for, nor did we want. You see, here's the thing. When people lose hope, they have given up, and sometimes they feel like they are nothing more than a burden. Hope is the one thing that can change that. It's what keeps me going. I have hope. Hope that we can come together as a community to let our warriors know that they are absolutely not a burden. Hope that we can create enough outreach programs to provide the resources to our warriors and their families. We need to be able to talk about mental health issues openly, to remove the stigma. We need to educate people on how to respond to their loved ones when they see them losing hope, because there is always hope. And it may not be easy, and the road will be filled with challenges. It may be an ongoing battle to hold on to that hope and to stay strong. But the key is that together we can. There is always someone listening. There is always someone who is willing to step in and to help. That is why you are here today, because you cared. You have probably lost someone you know to suicide. You are here today to make a difference, and you have. Thank you for caring, and thank you for helping to spread the message of hope. If you are someone struggling to hold on to hope, just take a moment and look around you, because you are surrounded by people who will do anything to help you hold on. This is community. This is hope. Thank you very much.
Thought I'd like to bring up my sister, Rachel Patterson, who we call Thumper. Talk about her husband, our dear friend and brother, Travis Patterson, Phenex. Thumper.
Sorry, it's really hard not to cry right now. On January 27th of this year, my husband, Travis Phenex Patterson, lost his battle. I need you to know that my husband was a very strong man, and he was very brave, perhaps the strongest and bravest man I've ever known. His life was full of adversity from a very young age. He always knew he wanted to serve his country, though. He was very proud of his military service. He wanted nothing more than to be of service to his fellow man, and he wanted to help everyone around him. After his medical discharge from the Army, he was working towards his dream of being a lawyer to help veterans and to help them live their path after the Army or the military. Unfortunately, the constant pain he endured from his injuries during his military service got to be too much. This world and the battle got to be too much, and he lost hope. I wish nothing more than for us to win this war on suicide and not lose another veteran to this battle at home. I want all of our veterans to be able to receive the help they need. Realistically, I understand this may never happen. Not everyone can be saved. But if we are strong enough to come together and to reach out to our brothers and sisters, we can do our very best to win this battle on suicide. I want to leave you with this quote by J.R.R. Tolkien that speaks to my heart, and I hope it speaks to yours too. The world is indeed full of peril, and there are many dark places, but still there is much that is fair, and though in all lands love is now mingled with grief, it grows perhaps the greater. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Rachel. Can't tell you how much we admire your strength and your courage to share your story today. We're all very touched. Not just words. In fact, there are no words. Thank you. Next, I'd like to bring up Lucky, Patrick Lynch, talk a little bit about Let's Hope and our goals, and to provide a little bit of insight for you.
I need this microphone up higher. Sorry. Just lightening my own mood, actually. So, thanks everyone for coming out here. To the patients that are out here, thank you very much for coming out here. To those that have been touched by this, those that have been touched by the ugliness of suicide, what can we say, right? but we're going to pick up the fight. Megan asked us to look around if you need hope. You are surrounded by people that got your six. And that's fact. I mean, look around here. If you're out here, you're part of what's right in this world. So, Megan, thank you for those wise words, and thank you for coming out here and sharing your story. What courage that takes. Yep. I'm not a J.R. Tolkien fan, but I'm a huge Thumper fan. I'm a huge Phenex fan. And I'm just kidding, I like J.R. Tolkien too. But what an incredible quote that reminds us that life is all about balance. You must have dark to have light. And you have to wade through that sadness to find the happiness, right? Do we all agree on that? Because I know I agree on that. Thank you for coming out here today. Again, your courage is just amazing. And today really was a memorial for our fallen brother, Phenex. And we made a promise of doing proud. And with the help of everyone that's out here today, I think we accomplished that goal. So thank you very much. Let's promote hope. Let's Promote Hope is a new program. We just started it. We don't know where we're going, and we don't know how to get there. Thanks for joining. But one thing we know for sure, the VA healthcare system is not the problem. Statistics show that less than 6% of our suicides, or veteran suicides, come from people that are seeking care in the VA system. Not everyone can be saved. We've heard that already today, because there are statistical anomalies. Megan's husband was being seen by the VA healthcare system, and I'm not going to talk about what happened to our brother Phenex, but I will say that there is sometimes when the system needs to be looked at. Let's Promote Hope is going to help look at that system. We know that we just had the Veterans Choice Improvement Act signed, right? Is everybody happy about that? No longer you're going to have to pay co-pays up front. You're going to get the care, and then the government will step in. They've upped that money up, that $950 million that's out there, and that's covered until August 7th. And then we'll go forward from there. I think that that's a great thing. I think that being able to seek care that isn't available at our VA systems, or if you live too far away from a VA care facility, being able to go there and get that care, that is a wonderful thing. However, we can't let it become the norm and lose our VA healthcare systems. Our VA healthcare system is there to help veterans. Veterans have special case needs. And I know I've talked to lots of you today, and almost all of you over the course of the last couple of years that I've known you. And for the most part, we agree. We agree that the healthcare system is outstanding. And Topeka Healthcare is outstanding. And we thank you for that, actually. We thank you for bringing us up here, and we thank you for the care you give us. But it's a system that has its flaws, and we're going to help look at those flaws. 9 times out of 10, if you're in the service, 9 times out of 10, what's the problem?
Leadership.
That too. But it's communication, which starts with leadership, all right? And I could cite you some examples, but I'm not going to do that today. But the people that have had problems that I've talked to, that's their problem. It's communication. They transferred from this hospital to this hospital. They were receiving care there that wasn't quite the same care here. Records weren't handed over properly. Those are system problems. They're easy to fix once you identify them. And we're going to fix those things. But how can we do that? How can Let's Promote Hope help do that? Well, fortunately, this VA care system has said, hey, Let's Promote Hope, we like you. We understand that you're supporting us, and we're going to listen to what you're going to say. And we've been brought on kind of as a team member to improve care. But we needed to be able to help do that care. So we're going to announce today that starting on May 22nd, you're going to be able to go to www.letspromotehope.org, and you're going to be able to fill out a 6-question survey on care that you received at the VA. Any care, anywhere. If the VA's paying for you to go to an off-site facility to get care, we want to know about that. If it's good, we want to know about that. If it's bad, we want to know about that. We will collect that data. We'll assemble it. We'll put it in a way that makes sense, and we have the people to do this within our community in a way that makes sense, in a way to provide actual problems with recommended solutions to our VA partners. And we're doing it for no money. We don't want your money. Somebody tried to give us money today. Who tried to give us money today? Yeah, thanks for that. Money's a great thing, but once you do something for money, things can change, right? We want to do this for no money so that we can stay focused on what matters. And what matters is us, the veterans. Right? Us, the veterans. That's what matters. So we got your 6. 22 May, if you go to care anywhere, go to our page. Please fill out the survey. Give us the data. And we're gonna try and make improvements on that. One of my points to that was there's a lot of people out there, a lot of groups, veterans groups, and we're very guilty of this as veterans groups, is hey, we want to make a change. We want to fix this, but they don't identify what's truly broken. So the point of what I'm trying to tell you on We Got Your 6 is we need your help. So we need you to go there. We need you to fill it out. And our promise to you is we will be the honest broker in that deal. Reaching out to groups and agencies to get the message of hope out there. We've been doing that. We have members within our community that will go out and will speak to anybody. We'll speak to anybody about anything. Our message is going to be the truth. It's going to be hope. All right? We're trying to get into the Soldier for Life, or we've been asked to talk now at the Soldier for Life transition program. Talk about when you get out of the military, it's a scary process. And if you say it wasn't, well, maybe you just retire with a lot more money than I did. I don't know how you got it. But for most of us, it's a scary process, right? There's groups out there, and we can get you to those groups. One of our long-term goals is getting trained volunteers in the emergency rooms to deal with those hours when there's no mental health care facilitator there, and they have the arduous process that they go through to determine whether that person is a true threat to themselves or should they just let them go home. And it's not easy, and they could use help. We're looking to put trained volunteers into those emergency rooms that can be that honest broker to assist in that process. Where how many people have had CQ and had that guy that's in trouble sitting at that desk? Right? A lot of us have, right? We know as military, that's usually all it takes. Just talk to me, man. Just treat me decently. And be honest, that's what Let's Promote Hope is about. Let's be honest, let's treat people decently. When you come to get health care, treat people decently. So we're looking to get people trained on the signs and symptoms, which I think we're going to hear a little bit about today. And we're going to get people trained on that, and they're going to try and be an honest broker, and they're going to help in this process because we don't want to lose any more. The number was 22 when we first started. I think the number's down to 18 to 20 now, but we are lowering it. It's 20. I like to think 18. I'm very optimistic. Today maybe it is. Today it's 0. Let's hope it's 0 today. So train volunteers in emergency rooms. If you think that's a good idea, give me a round of applause for that, please. Spirit, they like your idea. Good job, girl. And I'm going to talk about something. So Let's Promote Hope partnered up with the Eisenhower Presidential Library. Anybody that's in the military knows about Eisenhower. And I'm going to tell you something. Eisenhower was a very, very inspirational leader, a very, very, very strong man. Okay, I was fortunate enough in my military career to serve with some very inspirational leaders. I hope I stole a little bit from them. and I'm passing that on. I don't really know, but I sure do hope. But one thing I want to make clear, this is a problem that I see that's out there in our veteran services organizations and people that are fighting for veterans. There's this trend in America. Everybody's a victim. I'm going to tell you something. I'm a veteran. I'm a combat veteran. I'm a multi-tour combat veteran. I've seen some ugly stuff. But one thing I'm not is a victim. I am not a victim.
That's right.
Thank you.
Right?
Yeah.
I am sick of being portrayed as a victim. I am sick of people groveling to the government to treat me as a victim and then feed me and house me because I'm a victim. I'm not a victim. I'm a warrior.
Yeah.
President Eisenhower, then General Supreme Allied Commander Eisenhower, didn't send victims onto the beaches on D-Day. He sent warriors. We can't ever forget that. We all took an oath. I'm getting a little overwhelmed here. Here's the deal. Eisenhower was an inspirational leader and a great leader. On May 7th, 1955, when he was president, he created what we know as the Code of Conduct. I'm only going to read 3 of the 5 articles of the Code of Conduct. But these are under Eisenhower's presidency. And these were created because the prisoners of war during the Korean War lost hope. And they ended up coming back to America, and they were tried and they were treated as in poorly. And they said, well, we don't understand this because we didn't treat people like this when we had our prisoners of war. So Eisenhower, being a man of substance, led a fight to create the Code of Conduct. And the first article is, and if you know it, say it with me, I am an American, fighting in the forces which guard my country and its way of life. I am prepared to give my life in its defense. And I'll do an extra push-up because I said its way of life and not our way of life, which is incorrect. I am an American, fighting in the forces which guard my country and our way of life. I'm prepared to give my life in their defense, not a victim. I will never surrender of my own free will. If in command, I will never surrender the members of my command I will never surrender the members of my command while they still have the means to resist. In Article 4, I will never forget that I am an American, fighting for freedom, responsible for my actions, and dedicated to the principles which made my country free. I will trust in my God and the United States of America. I am not a victim. You are not a victim. We need to stop being portrayed as victims. Victimhood is hopelessness. Hopelessness is suicide. It's like the fly to the frog to the bear, if you know where I'm going with that. Let's not be victims. I'm told to mention the website once again, www.letspromotehope.com. .org. I think we own them all, don't we? But we're going to do .org. And thanks for everybody who's joined the Let's Promote Hope community. If you're here, you're part of it. Together we can move mountains. If we all do a little bit, the big job is easy. I did some good too. I love you guys. God bless. Thank you, Lucky.
Is this close? Fantastic speech, brother. At this point, I'd like to introduce Dr. Stephanie Davis. We're very grateful for her. She works here at the VA. She does some amazing stuff with some patients and with veterans as a whole. Without any delay, Dr. Davis.
Good afternoon. Thank you for being here. As he said, I'm Dr. Stephanie Davis. prevention coordinator for VA Eastern Kansas. And I feel heartened and humbled by all of the faces I see in front of me, ready and willing to join in this fight to save lives. I want to extend our gratitude to Megan and Richard, who just shared their stories with us. Because of your willingness and your courage to share, there are others out there who may not have to suffer the same burden that you do. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts. 20 veterans are dying every day by suicide. That number used to be 22, so we know we are beginning to turn the tide on this epidemic, but we cannot do it alone, and we will not rest until that number reaches 0. Of those 20 veterans each day, 14 of them aren't connected with the VA for care, and that's where you come in. You know, so often in this world, we hear about problems and we think, oh, that's horrible. I wish there was something that I could do. And here is a problem that you can and must do something about. And so my message to you today, your mission from this point forward, is to be there for each other. That may sound deceptively simple, but I assure you, it is not. Check in on your friends, your family members, your coworkers, your battle buddies. And when you do, be willing to really listen. Signs and symptoms to look for are withdrawing from friends and family, increased use of drugs or alcohol, insomnia, talking about feeling hopeless about the future, feeling like they're a burden on the ones they love the most, and talking about death or suicide. If somebody tells you that they are struggling, please be willing to ask the big question. Ask, are you having thoughts of suicide? It might feel uncomfortable, and a lot of times people are afraid that if they ask that question that it's going to plant the idea in somebody's head, but we know that that is not the case. What we know is that if somebody is struggling with thoughts of suicide, more often than not, it's a relief to finally talk about it. And if a veteran tells you that he is thinking of ending his life, take action. One of the simplest things that you can do is to contact the Veterans Crisis Line. If you are with the veteran, you guys can place that call together. If you're not, you can call the crisis line and tell them, hey, there's somebody that I'm worried about. The number for the crisis line is 1-800-273-8255 and press 1 for the Veterans Crisis Line. For those of you who aren't veterans, that 1-800 number is the National Suicide Prevention Hotline. You just don't press 1 for veterans. There are trained responders 24/7 who will stay on the phone as long as you need to talk. I have known responders that have stayed on the phone for over an hour with somebody just because they needed to talk. If it's an emergency situation, that responder can send out emergency vehicles to do a rescue and bring the veteran into the hospital for treatment. If it's not, and they just need to talk, at the end of that call, they will say, do you want a referral to your suicide prevention coordinator? And the next day, do you know who's going to call them back? It's me. It's just me. Or one of our 2 suicide prevention case managers. So you don't fall into a 1-800 abyss. There's a real person at the other end who cares very much and just wants to help, who's going to follow up. The vast majority of people who attempt suicide don't want to die. They want to solve the problem. They want to stop the pain. But being alone in that moment of despair can prove fatal. And so that's why it's so important for us to continue to expand our community of veterans and supporters to create this family. We are proud to stand shoulder to shoulder with the Combat Veterans Motorcycle Association, Operation Let's Promote Hope, and other traditional and non-traditional veteran service organizations. You know, I think people used to think about the VA as this standalone organization, and that once you got enrolled for care, you were just going to come week after week for treatment until the end of time. And for some people, that model still works. But for others, this is a new era, and veterans are having a different kind of relationship with the VA. Today, we might bring somebody in for an episode of care, provide the treatment, and then say, now go out and live your life. And if you get stuck, if you need help, come on back, we're here. But too many of our veterans don't have a support system to return to. By increasing our collaboration with partners like you, what we can do is sit there with that veteran, pick up the phone and say, hey, I got somebody here who's going to be discharging from the hospital soon, and he's going to need some support when he gets home. And then you all swoop in and you create this web of safety and support. Thank you for what you are doing. We so appreciate it. As I close, I have 2 challenges for each of you today. We've brought some suicide prevention materials, but we especially brought gun locks. 85% of the time a firearm is used in a suicide attempt, the result is fatal. We need to put as many barriers as possible in between the thought of suicide and the ability to act on it. So please, grab some gun locks on your way out, grab some for yourself, for the people that you care about, and put them on there. My second challenge is this. Each one of you out here today has somebody in your life that you're worried about. Somebody that's drifted away. It might even be somebody that you see on a regular basis and you don't know their name, but you can tell that they're hurting. My challenge to you is, this week, find some way to reach out to that person. And when you do, be willing to really listen. Together, we are a family, and families fight for each other. So join us in this fight against despair. Join us in this fight against hopelessness. Join us in this fight against veteran suicide. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Now I'd like to bring up Mr. Joe Burks. He's the PAO of the Northeast Kansas VA. He's the one we reached out to about making changes. He's been an incredible partner, and I know he's completely invested. When I first spoke with him and the director, Rudy, about Pat, I could tell just by looking at their faces that they got it. It wasn't bureaucratic, it wasn't words, it wasn't pettiness. They got it. We exchanged information. Both of them reached out, started a conversation, a good dialogue. We've been working together ever since. And through that, we started a lot of good things. We're going to continue to do those things. So, before I ramble on like Lucky.
Not many. I want to correct Patrick real quick first, okay? A while ago he said, I think they like us. No, Patrick, you're wrong, brother. We love you. We love what you're doing. We love the community to come together like this, standing up next to the VA saying, what can we do to make a difference? So thank each and every one of you. And no, we don't like you. We love you. Can't do it without you. Thank you. About your Let's Promote Hope. Again, we met several weeks ago, and it didn't take long to forge a relationship that said, this does make sense. So many will confuse red tape, bureaucratics, and everything like that with a VA. I get it, guys. We have layers and layers that we have to work through and go through. But when you sit down with us, I guarantee it's from the heart. We mean what we say, and we take action on what we say we're going to take action on. And why? Why? We hear about 22, correct? We've heard 22. We're at 20. That number, ladies and gentlemen, means nothing to me until we're at 0. All right? And no, we're not perfect. Do we need help? Yes, we need help. And until we're at 0, we guarantee this: we're not going to rest. We have work to do. We're not going to rest. We're going to continue to make relationships out there in the community. We're going to continue to find people like you to help us share the word and be in the backyards, be in the neighborhoods, be in the restaurants with those veterans who are in need of help, all right? I think Stephanie said it earlier. 14 out of 20 aren't seeking care here. What can we do to change that? I leave you with that question. What can we do to change that, all right? Think about that. Think about that over the next couple of days. And feel free to email me. Whatever you think that is, I want to hear about it so we can continue to work together to make that difference. We said 22. That's a number. I'm going to give you another number, very similar, 33. You say, what is 33? 33 is the percent of veterans that work in VA medical centers. Yeah, I see some eyes opening up. Therefore, when we lose a veteran, we lose a veteran too. I cry, all right? That's our brother. I served for 20 as well, which makes me a validated spokesman for VA. And I love doing it, wouldn't change it for the world. So again, 33% of our employees are veterans, and when you hurt, we hurt. I guarantee that. Another entity that hurts, our social work staff, our psychologists. Don't think for a second they don't take it home with them. That's their friend. That's their patient. That's their calling. That's their communication. And there have been providers on the phone for 5 hours at a time with that veteran, talking them down, trying to talk them down. 5 hours, ladies and gentlemen. Our providers are on phone sometimes. Our providers will get up at whatever hour in the night and travel to Lawrence to help talk down a veteran who's inside a hotel room ready to take his life. We're there. We're not perfect. We're not perfect. Well, again, we're going to strive to be that perfect entity. And I don't want to belabor this, but I do want to share with you just how important this is. And I expect one, an applause on this. I expect some questions from you. And I expect your mouth to open up and say, oh my gosh. We believe in this so strongly. To rid our country of veteran suicides, and Dr. Davis and myself are going to Washington, D.C. next week. And we are speaking in front of the House Senate Committee on Veterans Affairs and trying to rid this community of suicide. Do you understand?
Yes! Woo!
We'll take your message with us, because for every Topeka, Kansas, there's another rural community somewhere out in this country that needs to hear this message next week. Congressmen, senators, we're going to challenge them to take it back to their communities and make a difference for each and every one of us. Because when we're sitting here next year for this annual event, do you hear me, Patrick? When we're here next year for this annual event, we want to talk about the number that's down the zero. Right? Join me. Join me in VA Eastern Kansas in helping you make a difference in our community. Thank you, and God bless.
Yes!
Second, I'm going to bring up Spirit. She's going to do a lot of thank yous, because there are a lot of people to thank. Each one of you individually needs a thank you. Tailing off what Joe just told us, I can think of 2 people in this crowd right now that have gone out of their way to talk someone off the edge. Kelly Bowman there. She spent several hours talking to a veteran on the phone. Brought him from the verge to where he was good. Got him some help. Talking over here, Mr. Howard. He's taken veterans under his wing that were hospitalized for attempts, and he's brought them out of that. or help to bring out there. You've got people involved to make sure they know that we care. So there's just 2 examples, and I know there are more. I know there are people that don't talk about it. I know that, you know, as a veteran, when you see another veteran, you're going to reach out to him. Got Mr. Kegley over here with 22 kills. He does quite a bit of that. We have our Washburn Veteran Student Services. I know for a fact that Chris Bowers has talked people off the edge. We're going to make a difference in any of this. We just do what we do. But we tell people. You encourage people to do it. You do the same thing. There's not a playbook, but you can get tips from other people on how to do it. This gentleman right here, I met him on Tuesday, actually. I was coming out of the VA, Julie 4, started talking. He told me that he'd had some rough times, and told me that he made an attempt. Within seconds, my heart went out for him. I talked to him a little bit, gave him the card, told him reach out for anything you need. Make sure you get the word out. Everybody in there, everybody that goes see someone, if they need someone to talk to, call out. There are people here that'll listen. Look around. Every single person here should be willing to listen. I can't think of anyone that's not. It's powerful stuff. I'm happy you're here. I'm so happy you're here. After Spirit Desert thank yous, I'd like to request one thing from you guys, additionally to the things that have been requested from you. We'd like everybody to gather for a group photo. Because like Joe said, this is the first of many events. There will be more. We want to document that. We want to see the same faces when we do it again. It's important. This is good stuff. This is what we need to do. Okay?
Apparently, Benghazi was reading my page.
I can't read.
But we'll go with it and thank you twice because it's that important. Can everybody hear me? Yes? No?
No.
I am the CVMA Kansas 21 Auxiliary State Representative, but I'm also here today as part of Let's Promote Hope. What a powerful thing that is. I am the granddaughter of a veteran, the daughter of a veteran, the wife of a veteran, the mother of a son and daughter who are also veterans. To say that I have an interest in veteran health care, you might say that. One thing that I want to say and reiterate is that you are the hope of the people standing next to you. It lands on us sometimes. It's important. This event would not have been possible without you. Thank you so much for being here. Let's Promote Hope is a completely grassroots movement. This was only possible because of the organizations and the people that support us, especially our sisters, Rachel and Megan. Thank you to our brothers and sisters of the Combat Veterans Motorcycle Association Kansas 21 chapters and the American Legion Riders. Thank you to VFW Post 1650, again, the Washburn student veterans, and everyone that brought their bikes or cars today. I wasn't sure if there were cars. Or the cars. Thank you to our host, Topeka Veterans Medical Center. All the patients that were able to join us, specifically Joe, Dr. Stephanie Davis, and to the director. We appreciate the assistance in staging the bikes from Historic Harley Davidson, Rick Wedlin of Sunflower Rental. We appreciate the Topeka Police Department, the 190th Air Wing of the Kansas Air National Guard. Thank you to our community allies, the Eisenhower Presidential Library, Eagle Communications, Ike's Place Bar and Grill of Abilene. And also thank you Josh Kegley of 22 Kill, the Topeka Capital Journal, and the Abilene Reflector Chronicle. Also like to mention Jennifer and John Bolander, who are North Topeka business owners that have been a tremendous friend to veterans. I hope you all will continue to support the Let's Promote Hope events throughout this next year. We can't do it without you. We cannot do it without support. Thank you.
Thank you. Sorry, I read from your page. All right, I've been instructed what to read. And now for the moment we've all been waiting for. We're going to do some push-ups. If you're not able to do the push-ups, that's okay. Some of us will do them for you. But if you can, please join us as we do 22 push-ups to represent the number of veterans that we lose for suicide each day. 20, but we're doing 22. And for good measure, we're going to do one more for America. I'd like now to ask our brother Ripcord to come forward.
I gotta say something because I promised I would. Senator Moran said he was practicing his push-ups. I guess he's got his representative here? Mr. Badger, thanks for coming out. But I did tell him that I was just, he said, I'm practicing my push-ups so I can get to 22 with you on your day. Then next week we'll make them. They said, because I said, well, if you don't make it, I'm just going to point out that you didn't make it to 22. So let them know. Are you going to do it for him?
I'll do an extra one for him today.
You don't quite understand. It's right. It's 22 extra, so you got 46 to do.
Do I get a break in between, like halfway?
We'll decide that when we see your first 23.
All right, as you can see, they picked on the old guy to lead the push-ups. The count's down to 20, but the custom is, you know what a custom is. It's something that you start doing so long and it becomes a tradition. So it's a tradition to do the 22 push-ups. And remember, it's not about the push-ups. We don't really care if you can do push-ups or not. It's just something for morale building. The whole purpose is to cut off and stop the suicide. We got to work it together. All right, if you all look for a piece of ground in front of you or beside you or somewhere, we're going to get into the front linear position, front linear rest position on my command. I need a.
Am I going to have to get down there too?
Yeah, I go.
Okay, they're going to be 4-count push-ups. We're going to do 11 of them. And microphone. I'll count the cadence and you count the repetitions. If you don't know what that means because you forgot, it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Make sure they're good, sir. I got you on here.
In cadence, exercise. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. All right. And we're going to do one more for America. Down. Up. Okay. All over.
Good rush.
Thank you again for all coming out. If you could, let's gather under the flags here. Take a few pictures. While we're doing that, I want to make a quick mention. The Run for the Wall is coming up shortly. Which, if you don't know, it's the Vietnam War. There's a rod that goes coast to coast.
Do you want me to push finish, and then I'll take pictures? Or do you want me to do, or you want me to keep it on? And do it that way.
Okay, we're starting in California on the 17th, Monday the 17th. We'll pull into Junction City on the 21st
Get everybody.
and continue on to DC.